Sleep is associated with downtime. People who want to make the most out of their days ask, how can I sleep less and do more? How can I maximize my awake hours? Turns out, you maximize your awake hours by sleeping more.
Are we still filming?
In this book, Why We Sleep by Matthew Walker, he talks about how our default nature is to sleep twice a day. You know that afternoon sleepiness that hits right after lunch? That's our body's ancient wiring telling us to take a nap.
In fact, he goes on to say that if we do anything other than biphasic sleep, our lives are shortened.
Now, back when I was a kid and lived in Dubai, afternoon naps were very common. But here in North America, that is far from the vibe. Most of us are at work and kids are engaged in after-school activities. So naps disrupt the flow of our daily lives. But here is how naps actually help us. Naps as short as 20 minutes can improve memory by moving new information from the hippocampus to our cortex. Additional to that, it increases focus and attention throughout the day. See you never, coffee. When we nap and dream, aka REM sleep, it improves learning comprehension, increases creativity, and helps with solving complex problems. Given this information, I had to try biphasic sleep. I tried this out for 30 days. I napped anywhere between 10 minutes to an hour.
Sleeping for 7 hours in total for 97% of the days.
I just did my first nap. It was really nice. When I woke up though, I did feel slightly groggy, like slightly tired, which I wouldn't necessarily feel in the afternoon.
At first, it was tough to sleep. Even though my calendar declared that it was nap time, my body wasn't able to summon sleep on a schedule.
I tried for a full hour to fall asleep. I couldn't, it didn't happen. So now I feel like I just wasted an hour. Sleeping past 5 p.m. is hard because then it's like waking up and it's almost bedtime, you know? When the excitement is high, I can't nap. I got shiz to do. I can't nap.
So I became more intuitive about it. Whenever I felt tired during the day, I took a nap. It was easiest for me to fall asleep after a meal between 10 a.m. and 2 p.m.
For context, I usually wake up around 5:45 a.m. and sleep for the night at 9 p.m.
According to science, learning is improved before and after a nap. On day 17 of this experiment, I had a pretty interesting experience where I read about the science of dreams, took a nap. After waking up, I had an opportunity to share what I had learned. And I shared the stories, the research, and the science so fluently, it was like the nap had cemented the ideas into my brain, increasing comprehension. I'm usually not that fluent at the first retelling of information, but then again, this could totally be placebo, so interpret that how you will. I also self-reported my energy. I tried to be as objective as possible. What I noticed was for the shorter naps, it was easier for me to wake up and get right back into action, but for the longer naps, I was slower. I also noticed that I was productive all the way up until bedtime. Usually around 6 p.m. I feel quite brain tired and I don't want to work anymore, but I would get in about 1 to 2 hours of extra productive time in the evening. Sometimes it was hard to fall asleep at night, but that would happen only on days when I slept more than 9 hours in total. Overall, these are the best practices from my learning experience. Nap after a meal. Nap less than 45 minutes to avoid grogginess. Nap between 4 to 8 hours past wake time, and avoid naps less than 4 hours before bedtime. By sleeping sufficiently, about 7 to 8 hours a night, and taking a nap, we are maximizing our cognitive ability while we're awake. I think I will continue napping when I'm learning new information, in need of creativity, or I've slept less than 8 hours during the night. I would love to hear your thoughts on a biphasic sleep schedule, and that is it for me. I will see you in the next video. Anywhere between why it's so hard to speak, increases focus. Ooh, I said that already.